Vasby cannot understand. Only puddles remain in the Adaptorium cisterns, but still Silojo forbids this one to act. Our Adaptorium, Srendra's cradle, is parched by a drought. We rely on the Anequina aqueduct to supply our water, but something halted the flow. Now adepts and pilgrims go thirsty. We tend to the sick here. Without water, many of them may die. No, and we never will if Silojo gets his way. He yowls about the risks, but Vasby is not the saucer-eyed kitten she was when Silojo found her. This one must fix this. You're a warrior, yes? Would you escort Vasby? Thank you for helping, Rook. We should investigate the nearest gate of the aqueduct, just south of here. Srendar willing, we will find whatever blocks the water there. Vasby will meet you soon. This one must speak to Silojo before she leaves. No. My teachers examined the Order's histories and found no evidence of droughts in the past. But we live in curious times, yes? Dragons fly, dead walk. A broken aqueduct would not seem out of place. Vasby does not think so. Before the water reaches Srendar's cradle, it passes Rimen. And for all the city's problems, a drought is not one of them. That means the flow is blocked somewhere between the city and the Adaptorium. You found it! We should examine the gate at the top of the ramp. Open and dry, as expected. Hopefully we'll find the blockage at the second gate. Busby hopes we can find the problem soon. Otherwise we may have to investigate the Bandar span. A portion of the aqueduct that runs through Bandar's litter. A canyon to the east of the Adaptorium. Silojo forbids us to go there. Ever since this one was... Vasby does not know. She has, at times, heard whispers from the older adepts. Something about the Nahatan flu. This one asked Silojo outright about the place years ago. He only shook his head. Old moon tales. Clan mothers say the stone pillars of the canyon were Bandar's children. Elkosh turned them to stone as a reprisal for one of the bandit god's pranks. The trickster hid the pillars in this canyon where they would be warm and safe. Vasby will be right behind you, but be careful, Walker. Silojo can be overprotective, but he would not resort to lies to hold us back. The dangers of the wastes are real, as you know. Truly, I hate to worry him, but Vasby must do this. Follow the line of the aqueduct east. It should lead you straight to the next gate. Vasby will meet you there. Ha! You protect me by clearing the way, Walker. This one wants to take a moment to study this gate, in case we must fix one later. Vasby will be safe. You will stop worrying, yes? examine this new gate. Dry. Zistful. Wait, what is this? Curious. This scrap of cloth. Vasby knows it well. It is part of a Srendar adept's habit. One of the... Vasby does not think anyone wore it. The way it is torn, it looks like someone used it to dress a wound. Do you see the stains? This one smells blood, too. A warning, perhaps. Or a clue. Maybe. Vasby is no investigator, but finding something like this near the gate feels like a sign. We should find the person, if only to make sure they are not badly hurt, yes? We could start by searching around the columns that hold the aqueduct up. Someone gravely injured may have rested in the structure's shadow. No time to waste, Walker. Let's go. Certain. After the worst of the Nahatan flu had passed, Salujo and the others burned every scrap of cloth touched by the illness. Quilts, linens, and yes, even their habits. Nothing remained of them, aside from paintings in the cloisters. It appears that way, yes. Come. Another shred of a habit? The blood seems more spotty. From a sword, maybe. Let's keep looking. The blood trail goes cold, yes? But what is that? A cameo? The face looks... This was not dropped by accident, Walker. There must be more to find. This is a nursery rhyme, isn't it? Like the one Vasby read every night as a kitten. Srendar's mercy. Please hurry, Walker! Swaddlecloth? Vasby recognizes that pattern. Come, let's keep looking, come! And we find a death coin lost, of course. Something that gleams to take to the sands behind the stars. We should talk. The bloody bandages, the cameo, and swaddlecloth. All these trinkets and mementos lead to a forbidden place. The drought. It's because of me. That is why Vasby insisted on being the one to investigate. Every year, on this one's birthday, someone leaves a gift outside the cloisters. Gifts like the nursery rhyme, coin, and cameo we found, you see? Days after the aqueduct ran dry, the gift giver left a jug of cold, fresh water outside this one's door. It was a message, you see, for Vasby. Now we find these dressings and keepsakes, all leading to Old ghosts haunt this place. Angry spirits that moan and howl curses in the night. Silujo always insisted we stay away. I hate to disobey him, but we have no choice. The last sluice gate and the person we pursue are both inside. Are you prepared?
Don't like your odds.
Wait! Busby saw someone!
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
Why do they run? We do not mean them any harm. There they go. Is that the same one as before? Let's split up. We can corner him.
Who are you? Where's Busby? Beloved child. Finally you have come home at last.
Beloved, what? I don't... We only want to restore the water.
Water? No. You come for answers, child. Answers from ashes. Take her to our camp at the Bandar Gate. Kill the other and cleanse him in flame. The scouring fire will claim Sarindar's cradle soon enough.
Quickly! Over here! Silujo saw everything. We must save... I may not be Busby's father, but I feel a father's love for her. What parent would let their child wander the Kaj with a stranger? Silujo followed at a distance, but could not stop Busby in time. The stricken cats took her deeper into the canyon. The flu. Time heals some wounds and causes others to fester. Sometimes even the greatest healer cannot see all ends. Forgive me. Silujo is an old cat. He rambles. We must go to the Bandar Gate. To halt, there is a cavern deep within the litter. If memory serves, it ascends to the Bandar Gate. We will find the aqueduct blockage and Busby there. Silujo will try to make these sick, scarred cats see reason. To cure a sickness, a healer must know the ailment's cause. Old hatreds are not so different. We lose... These sick, scarred, you see, we call them the stricken. After the Nahatan flu ravaged their bodies, the people of Elsweyr cast them out.
at this. Well, I probably shouldn't be proud of that.
They came to Svendar's cradle once for healing, but the kings would have put our adeptorium to the torch if he knew we harbored the sick. You should know the reason they hate us, Ismalfo. They wish to burn our home because I cast them into Bandar's litter to die. Wait, Silujo must speak to you. Before we go further, the Bandar gate lies beyond that door. The Stricken's leader as well, Busby's true father. His love and sorrow has turned to hatred for me. Silujo does not fear this death if it will save Busby. Before it happens, though, this one must ask. You now know the story of Srendar's cradle, of the sick left to die. When this one is gone, Busby will have questions. What will you tell her? Silujo thanks you, Walker. Choosing who lives and who dies weighs on the soul, but as a healer and a leader?
I miss roasting pupil scripts over a fire. Sweet and airy, with a hint of crunch.
You are unharmed, yes?
No! Silujo, no! He breathes, but faintly. Busby will take him back to the cradle. My hands won't stop shaking. The Stricken's leader, Hulzar, wields horrible magic. Yes, he said he left me gifts so that I would not forget him. But seeing me grow closer to Silujo, closer to the Order, twisted. Please, Walker, if there is any way to spare Hulzar, have mercy. Busby knows he is mad, but to lose two fathers at once. Srendar, help me. This one is so lost. Moons, why did Silujo come here? He must have known the Stricken would kill him. This one only needed saving because she disobeyed Silujo. He came here because of Busby. He dies because of Busby. This one knows. Hulza told me about how he and his wife, my mother, came to the cradle with a tiny Busby in their arms. He described the long march to Bandar's litter and the cold, moonless nights that fall. How could it not be Busby's fault? Had Hulza's wife not carried Busby in her womb, they never would have come to Srendar's cradle. Had Busby not sought to restore the water, Silujo would live. Please.
Keep me from my vengeance! Come, dear! Busby, I'm sorry.
You return. Good. Vasby already loses too much today. Silujo did not... The other adepts mourn for him as Vasby does. But they do not know the truth of his death, or the cost of the water you restored. But you know. Vasby knows. Vasby loved this place. She idolized Silujo and the other healers. She prayed to Srendar for the strength and wisdom to serve as well as those. The people of Elsweyr think that the adepts of the Cradle worked miracles to stave off the flu. Now I see that they only hid the sick in the wilderness to let them die. How can this one just ignore that? How can I dedicate my life to such a place? Yes, this one will stay, but I will not lie about what happened here. Silujo made an impossible choice, but the people deserve to hear the truth. Thank you, Walker. We only just met, but you are the closest thing to family that Vasby has left. Brothers, sisters, Vasby must speak about Silujo's passing. Before he passed, this one learned the truth of the stricken, of the role we healers played in their suffering. No longer. In Shrendar's name, we must go to Bandar's litter. We must help the stricken, and we must try to heal this age-old wound, for their sake and for ours.
I haven't been able to sleep all week. Please, can't you do something?
Of course. I'll have the town guards investigate tonight.
Thank you, Magnate Fena Darak.
And who do we have here? Come, let us speak. Welcome to the town of Hakoshe. I must say it is not often I see a new face. Have you perhaps come to take part in our festival? The Proving Festival, yes. Through a series of trials, the people of Hakoshe must prove themselves to their ancestors. We do so. First, the proof of reference calls on our ancestors to witness our deeds. Second, the proof of strength displays our might. And of course, I'm sure you too have ancestors you wish to honor. First, you must speak with Domitia Nasica. You'll find her just by the river. Listen well to her. Let me know if you have any other questions. I realize that Hakoshe can be quite nothing to worry about. Domitia just hasn't been sleeping well. She believes there's something prowling around her house. Of course, I'd never dismiss a citizen who seeks my aid. Having the town guards investigate will help ease Domitia's fears. That alone may be enough to stop her nightmares. And if the dreams continue, I'll make sure she's seen by... Though Hakushe is known for its Akaviri ancestry, the truth is that our imperial bloodline runs far richer. Still, we honor our Akaviri ancestors by maintaining some of their customs. The Proving Festival is a shining example of that. I hold the title of Magnet, though I have no emperor who supports me. Still, my family has led Hakushe since its founding, and chose to take the title to reflect that role. It has been my honor to lead this town for over 10 years now. Because it was our family who founded it. My ancestors wished to create a place of safety and peace, where Akaviri traditions could continue to be passed down and honored. A goal I still strive to respect to this day. Yes, as is my family's tradition. We tend to keep closer to our Akaviri heritage than most. I even speak a little of the language, though I suspect my accent is quite atrocious.
Oh, you're that traveler I saw earlier. Do you need something? Truly, that was certainly nice of her. Your first step is to complete the proof of reverence. This trial allows us to call up with this paper lotus. Write the names of your honored ancestors on its petals, and place the lotus in the river. This will allow it to float into the afterlife. Think of it like a calling card, a way to get your ancestors to pay attention. Return to me when you've completed your task. Oh, and feel free to ask any questions you may have. This is Hakushe's first Proving Festival in over a century, after all. I'm sure you're just as curious as everyone else. Excited, of course. Honestly, I'm shocked we gave up the tradition in the first place. No one even remembered the festival existed until the magnate found an old record about it. Our town doesn't have much wealth or power, but we do take pride in our ancestry. Learning about our Akaviri culture and celebrating it is important to us. And the Proving Festival is the perfect way to do just that. Before we can prove ourselves to our ancestors, we must first get their attention. The paper lotus acts as a ceremonial letter of sorts. By placing it into the river, we allow... Yes, it is. The Akaviri believe that all waterways connect the realms of the living and dead. There are many folktales about boats being lost in heavy fog, and landing on shores filled with restless spirits. I used to, when I was little. Whenever I would go jump in a puddle, my mother would yell, "Stop that! You'll fall right into the afterlife!" Truthfully, though, she just didn't want my dress to get muddy. Through this proof, you have shown reverence. Well done. Next is the proof of strength. You'll need to... I am sorry. I'm just so tired today. There's been a lot of strange noises at night lately, and I haven't slept very well. You overheard that? Ah, well, yes. I've started hearing noises at night. Heavy breathing, uneven footsteps that seem to shuffle about. At first I thought I was dreaming it all, but now I am not too sure. I don't, though the magnate has promised to send a patrol out tonight. Hopefully they'll find whatever it is. But you've got a proof to complete. Head over to Vectrasi for your next task. He's just a little ways west of here, right up the hill. Good luck with the proof of strength, and let me know if you need anything.
What can I do for you, traveler? You wish to prove yourself before your ancestors. Very well. To the north lies a cave wherein beautiful... Ah, didn't I mention? The cave also happens to be a Sench lion lair, and I doubt the beasts will be... Make sure to keep your senses about you. Sench lion...
You know, I like to think I'm agreeable. Off we go!
You have... Most impressive. I'd say you've certainly made your ancestors proud. Good thing, too. Wouldn't want any unhappy spirits mucking about Hakoshe. They'd bring all sorts of misfortune. Quite right. It's part of why honoring our ancestors is so important. Happy ancestors gift their descendants. Yes, death. Of course, you'd need to perform a great dishonor for such a punishment. Not that you have to worry about that. You've proven both your reverence and strength. Now, don't dawdle now. The proof of wisdom awaits you back in Hakoshe.
Why, if it isn't our town's mysterious stranger? Magnate Fena Derak told me all about your participation. Have you completed the first two Excellent, excellent. Then you are ready for the proof of wisdom. I am most useful when empty. I am most generous when full. What am I? Of course. What better way to show your wisdom? The riddle describes one of the items on this table. Choose the correct item and bring it to me. Best of luck, dear. And if you have any questions, feel free. No, that's not correct.
One drink over here.
Yes, that is indeed the answer. Oh, I'm just so happy you guessed correctly. I was a little worried my riddle was too obscure. I had hoped Magnate Fena Darak would provide a riddle, but she just has a lot riding on her shoulders. We're all seeking to honor our ancestors, but the Magnate's ancestors are a bit, harder to live up to. I'm sure it's created. May your ancestors be pleased by your actions, traveler.
Enjoying it. I'm sure you've heard a great deal about Akaviri culture today, but tell me, did you learn anything about the magnate herself? Everything you've learned seems to support the rumor. A descendant of the potentate would certainly be given such privileges. However, my investigation calls for more concrete proof. A document would be best. I've made some inquiries of my own. It seems that Magnate Fena Darak has quite a few records in the cellar of her home. We'll need to break in and search her documents. We need a key, and I'm positive the captain of the guard carries one. If you would do me the kindness of chatting him up for a bit, I'll do my best to obtain the key. Very well. Let's get moving then.
Greetings. Say, aren't you the traveler who joined the Proving Festival? Are you now? Well, that's certainly an impressive feat. Honestly, this whole affair has been nerve-wracking for me. I'm not too keen on dishonoring my ancestors. Who knows what misfortune would befall me? To be honest, barely. The first two proofs were easy enough. Threw a paper lotus in the river, grabbed a sugar daisy for Vecdrasi. But that last proof, well, it stumped me. Couldn't for the life of me figure out the riddle. I'll admit it, I had a little help. Magnate Fena Darak gave me a hint. She's a gracious lady, our magnate. Always helping out folks in need. I'm not sure how Hakushe would fare without her.
Glad you could make it. Quickly now, let's head inside. Well, that's certainly odd. There must be something here to take down that barrier. I'm willing to bet those tablets would fit rather nicely into these sockets on the floor. Well, that certainly wasn't right. Care to try again? Looks like that did it. Let's head in. The magnate left a letter on her desk. Interesting, don't you think?
Bringing a book for travel is well worth the pack space. Shame they're so heavy.
Seems this letter confirms that the magnate is descended from the potentate. What a pity.
Just what are you two doing here? Get out at once!
Traitor! How dare you claim to be of my blood?
What? What's happening? Please, no!
Vegetal. Well, it seems we've confirmed that Faina Darak is a descendant of the potentate. Just in time for her to be whisked away by some vengeful spirit. Just my luck. Isn't that part of the Akaviri's beliefs? Disrespect your ancestors and they'll have their revenge. And given the spirit's armor, he was definitely Akaviri. Huh. Makes me wonder what the magnate did to deserve such a fate. I'm not sure, but it's as good a guess as any. Given the turn of events, we'd best go after them. Perhaps the local tombs? If I know ghosts, they don't often wander far from their graves. Some Akaviri is so upset with the magnate that he's returned from the dead. And if I'm to see this investigation through to the end, I need to learn why. Let's head to the tombs. It's just east. At least we have someone to search. Not much, but I'll take it. Clever. No wonder Nayu likes you so much. I will say that it is in the Morag Tong's interest that this matter be settled. We take great pride in the fall of the Akaviri potentate. Best not to have that history tarnished. That's not the Morag Tong's concern, now is it? My investigation is still ongoing, however. Speaking of my investigation, shouldn't we be going? Who knows what sort of misery the magnate is going through as we dither on? Glad you could make it. I see them, just up ahead.
Still you hunt me, assassin scum? Was my death not enough?
This disappearing act is getting very old, very fast. He seems to think that I was the Mer who assassinated him. Could be a simple case of mistaken identity. After all, my mother always did tell me I bear a striking resemblance to my grandfather, Methistarum. As a member of the Morag Tong, my grandfather executed a great number of people. But, given the location and the armor the spirit wears, let's move ahead. I have a feeling we'll get our answers soon enough. Best if we split up and go our separate ways. Proconsul Balloon Kai, I presume?
Very good, assassin scum. You and your companion have been most insistent. Come, let us speak. Fena Derok has called my spirit to judge her. By her quill, my name was written. By her hands, the paper lotus placed. And so I have come to punish her wickedness. And yet you try to stop me. Who are you to deny me my revenge? When I escaped Cyrodiil, I had but one man to protect me. Someone I placed my utmost faith in, my utmost trust. Lieutenant Line Bardwick. But when it came time to guard me from my Morag Tong assassin, my protector fled. Yes, though not before I was able to inflict a mortal wound myself. Both I and my assassin died that day. But not Line Bardwick. He looted my corpse and claimed my name. It was he who founded Hakushe, not I. Her family continued to spread the lies of my betrayer. For centuries they have proclaimed themselves nobility. But all they have inherited is lies. She must renounce her title and tell her people the truth. Only then will I be content. Go then, and convince Fena Derok to speak the truth. Only that will save her. The Proving Festival is a time for the Akaviri people to commune with their ancestors. Not only does it allow the dead to view the living world, it also invites us to cross over. Fena Derok called me to judge her. I have come to do so. And so I did not kill her, as I attempted to kill Line Bardwick when first this festival was held. My lieutenant also summoned me by our ancient rites, though he did not realize this. I was compelled to cross over and judge his wicked ways. Line Bardwick was a strong mage in his own right. He cast me away. For centuries I have waited for another Proving Festival, but I suspect that Line Bardwick took precautions against my return. But now, at last, the truth can be revealed.
I can't believe it. The founder of Hakushe, my ancestor, he lied? You don't understand. To admit such a horrid truth wouldn't just dishonor me. It would dishonor my entire family. All of my ancestors, who have done such great things for Hakushe, they'll all be disgraced. How can I do that? No. I don't want to keep lying. The citizens of Hakushe deserve nothing but my complete honesty, even if it comes at the cost of my family's reputation. I'll do it. Ancestors, forgive me, but I'll tell everyone the truth.
I'll be watching, Faina Derok, waiting for you to speak the truth.
I'll keep my word.
Well, seems like it's time to get going then. I'll meet you in the town square. It seems my investigation has come to an end. The rumor was false, my family name is cleared, and no one even needed to be executed. A happy ending all around, wouldn't you say? The Morag Tong isn't one to leave loose threads, even one that's been dangling for over a century. Luckily for Faina Darok, my grandfather was able to complete his writ. Here, a reward for services rendered. Now, despite our daring rescue, I'm certain the Magnate doesn't want a member of the Morag Tong hanging about. Though it does look like she's about to make her big announcement, doesn't it? Well, perhaps I'll stick around long enough to watch. If I had to. My preference was always to prove this rumor false, of course. Still, a writ is a writ. If my grandfather failed to do his duty, then I would have done it for him. Simple. My grandfather was following a writ which called for the death of Potentate Severian Shorak and all his heirs. Had Faina Darok been a descendant of the proconsul, her execution would also fall under this writ. Naturally. I'll let the Morag Tong know your feelings soon as I'm back in Morrowind. I'm sure they're just dying to hear your opinion.
My family has long claimed to be descended from the potentate. But this is not the truth. The man who founded the town, my ancestor, was a traitor. He betrayed Proconsul Baloran Kai and stole his name. My family's legacy is only a lie. I revoke my title as magnate. And should you decide it, I will leave Hakoshei forever. This dishonor is mine to bear. And I accept it.
No! We still want you to be our magnate!
You're an honorable woman, Faina Darak.
You deserve to lead this town!
Everyone, thank you. Thank you so much.
Finally, I am a vet.
Greetings, traveler. Honestly, I'm still wrapping my head around it all. My entire life, I thought that I was a descendant of the potentate. To realize that was a lie is... well, it's hard. But I'm still Faina Darak. I know who I am, and so too do my people. Yes, for as long as Hakoshei will have me. And even if that changes, I'll still do my best to help this town however I can. This is my home, no matter who my ancestors were or were not. I realize that now.
Yeah!
I was tired of walking anyway. A nice little present from Vec, eh?
kingdom of artistry. Rachin studied there as a painter for one single day. This may or may not have something to do with a rather tricky subject.
I've only good use of your cause. Frinja, Kais. Ignorant beasts. How can you kill what you do not comprehend?
Five Claw, I decided to join you. Aneshi deserves to hear that I still live in my own words.
Welcome to Aneshi's humble shrine, Gunzari. Here, we remember the tales of the hero of ancient Elsweyr. Old Aneshi doesn't get many visitors, friend. Few find much comfort in the ancient tales of Gunzari during these trying times. Wait, Aneshi recognizes your friend. She is grown now, more serious, but this Aneshi's beloved wife, Zaima, worked with the militia for a time after we avoided Euraxia's purge of the palace. Passed along information until the Euraxians caught her. They killed her in the palace courtyard. If Aneshi can help, he will do so. Then you need to enter the palace crypts. A forgotten passage in the crypts leads to the royal kitchens. Aneshi will write down directions to where he... Jode above, old Aneshi can hardly believe his eyes. Princess Camila.
It is truly me, Castellan. But I am Queen Kamira now. We will throw the usurper from my father's throne.
We stayed close to the castle. Zaima, my brave and beloved wife, she passed information to the militia until the vile Uraxians got it. After that, Aneshi came here to restore this ancient shrine. This one will help you as best he can, my queen.
I will visit with Aneshi, Five Claw. Recover the Master Key and meet me in Riemann.
Saviva can live with Siso. The constant nagging and judging and glowing and floating. This is why Saviva avoids his family at all costs, especially the undead ones. My shiny ancestor here. We got along fine when he was ashes in an urn, but something stirred his spirit, and now he won't leave me alone. He says Saviva threw a big party. Everyone was having fun until a Jeek bumped the urn and woke my ancestor from the dead. Now, Saviwa needs to get the urn to our family tomb so he can rest. But warring cultists up. Fragrant, gather the urn and take it to our family tomb. Saviwa usually avoids these crypts because of all the stairs and murderous spirits, so he doesn't know exactly which tomb is ours. But he's marked the location on your map. They're fighting over territory around Riemann. These shaveskins are always fighting over something, yes? Screaming, then fighting, then...
the last of them? Quite the mortals.
Do you honestly believe you can defeat us?
Our prince will be pleased when we fill this arena with your screams!
Not bad! But now watch a true warrior fight! There was a time when Darlock Frey would have taught you to become legends. That time has passed.
You cannot end this way, Darlock. Together we can teach these mortals the meaning of death.
Joined the buoyant armigers.
Rachin was there when the city was still Rimka, before the influence of men. To steal a city, this is easy. To take its name, not even this one could accomplish such a feat.
ablaze! Light it up! Burn it!
Remind me to ask Saviwa why these two urns are so much bigger than mine. Jorari appreciates your efforts, but this is not where he belongs. We should keep moving before the cultists find other uses for my urn. Yes, but Jorari belongs to a larger family, one that shares more than blood. Bring...
While you still can, mortals!
Jorari remembers visiting this tomb with his brother once. This is much closer to Jorari's resting place, but not. The light of the moons may lead us astray, but in...
Hunga tok alla tu.
Victory for the last way!
This is the place for Jorari to rest. I have never been more certain of anything in my entire death.
Who dares to awaken the great mains?
Finally, a tomb fit for a car. Ah, thank you. Jorari can finally rest next to his beloved queen. If Saviwa listened, he would have learned that Jorari once led this nation, and if he would have taken me to my resting place, Jorari would have led him to our forgotten treasury. Please, put my urn with the others, friend. I want to see my queen. I'm sure Saviwa will be pleased to know that I won't be bothering him any longer. Jorari hopes that Saviwa is a little bothered by the fact that he missed out on our royal treasure.
Saviwa just woke up from his best nap in weeks. You got rid of that nagging Jeek, didn't you? Did you decide to just kick his urn off a cliff? Saviwa won't tell anyone if you just decided to kick his urn off a cliff. The old ghost was royalty. If Saviwa had that treasure, he would never have to work a day in his life. Oh well, Saviwa will find another way to be lazy. Take this for your efforts. It's no royal treasure, but it's the best Saviwa has to give. Saviwa wishes he had his ancestors' treasure. He could have thrown his best party in ages. There would have been nice wine, lots of ladies, weird smoothskins juggling sharp objects. Ah, it would have been good times, my friend. Very good times. Saviwa is thinking about having some drink.
Let's ride! Tired of walking anyway. Feeling chat? Yeah! Let's ride! Yeah! Can never have enough of that. Never used to fight this much, until I met you.
As a fellow wanderer on the path, greetings. I'm Vastari. If you plan to explore the Ashen Scar, I'd advise caution. An undead awakening, as intense as it is unstable. The corpses emerge in fits and starts for now. But I can sense more stirring below, hundreds more. If left... Yes, maybe you can. I find myself having difficulty focusing. If the force that reanimates these corpses exerts pressure on the mind as well, that would be profound. I'm glad to have your company. As I said, something about this place puts me ill at ease. Now, are you ready to proceed? We did indeed. I recognized you, of course, but I find that reunions can get a bit awkward if one party doesn't recall the other. I'm glad I made an impression. You certainly did. I'd still be bumbling around Cold Harbor if not for you and Azura. The very same. I find that title rather coarse, but ultimately, titles tell more about the speaker than they do about the subject. Wouldn't you agree? In these lands, she's called Azura, Queen of the Night Sky and Mother to all Khajiit. Love. With Azura, everything begins with love. A love that is fierce, possessive, even cruel, but always true. Yes, though not as fervently as they used to. A prophet named Ridthari-Data revealed the secrets of the Riddlethar to the Khajiit some years back, essentially creating a child's religion that sanded down the sharper edges of Khajiiti theology. I always hate to see a rich tradition usurped by a flimsy one, but ultimately it's the Khajiit's choice. What matters is that Azura loves them, and what my lady loves she always reclaims, eventually. It's the site of an ancient Khajiiti temple to Azura, the Temple of the Hidden Moon. I conducted some research on the temple before I set out from Grautwood, but didn't find much. Something happened here that the Khajiit... Undoubtedly. What little scholarship I did find referred to a sprawling nest of catacombs beneath the temple, filled with Khajiiti dead. The Adepts of the Hidden Moon watched over them, I think. That's the hope, yes. Azura's influence runs deep here, deep and even than whatever malevolent force stirred up the undead. She'll guide us to the answers. Excellent. The Hidden Moon Temple stands at the very center of the Ashen Scar. The adepts who lived there vanished centuries ago, but the air still crackles with arcane energy, necromantic energy. Forgive me, I didn't. Yes, and no. It felt as though I was struck blind and deaf, save for the sound of a beating heart. I think something tried to drive me back, then relented and tried to claim me instead. Oh, there's an intention to it, a greed and a hunger. You seem unaffected. Good. I can't go any farther, not until I understand the nature of this event. Take these descrying stones and place them throughout the canyon. They'll allow me to perceive this threat from a distance. The 3 stones act in concert, so be sure to place them in a broad pattern that encompasses the whole area. Now, you should set out. The sooner you... No, not at all. Truth be told, necromancy is my primary area of expertise. The study of souls, to be more specific. I trust that won't be a problem. The magical art of reanimating and communing with the dead. Most people find its coercive aspects abhorrent. I certainly wouldn't... Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Though I wouldn't blame you if you did. We haven't exactly covered ourselves in glory in recent times. I hope you'll trust me when I say my intentions aren't an experiment of mine. Expended soul gems reinfused with the smallest trace of my own spiritual essence. They allow me to perceive the world as lingering spirits do, making the invisible flow of animus and magicka visible. Good. I sense, yes, some kind of wards infused into the architecture, or weakened by the march of time. Someone tried to prevent this. The corruption here is just suffocating, like a dark fog rising from below, bidding the dead to serve.
If you come seeking corpses to loot, you should turn away now. The bones have all sprung to life, you see. Old spirit.
Excellent. My sight grows clearer. I see a maze of catacombs below. Undead rise there too. And something else. There's a concentration of dark energy in the exposed tomb at the center of the scar. Meet me there.